So you may remember a couple of months ago I found two retro PCs in the bin. Not one, but two. So a quick recap if you haven't seen it, or I will link in the description. Right, so anyway, I was in work and we have a metal bin in work and just various items get through in there. I've had quite a lot of computers out of there. So one night I was scouring the skip and I found two PCs from back in, one was late 90s, one was probably early 2000s. Anyway, one was a Pentium 4 and the other one, which I thought was a 386 or 486, it actually turns out it's a Pentium MMX. So a quick recap, the Pentium MMX one powered on, but I got nothing on the screen. That computer is still work ongoing. The Pentium 4 would not turn on at all. As much as I tried, it just wouldn't turn on. My mate said to me, you must have a dead board, and it was one of them, whatever, sound. And then he said to me, have you checked the CMOS battery? Flip the CMOS battery out, press the power button, and lo and behold, the thing powered on. So it was all up and running, and I wanted, well, what I've wanted for a while actually is a powerful XP build, should we say. Now, the Pentium 4 just wasn't powerful enough for what I want to do for sort of the build I want to do. So I come to an agreement with a mate. He had some parts and these were now SATA, not IDE. So I just swapped the Pentium board out and all the sort of parts, well not all the parts because I've got CD-ROMs and that. I gave him the motherboard and the hard drive and stuff like that. He gave me a few pieces of hardware that he had. And I got a few other pieces from work, because where I work there's quite a lot of sort of office computers, should we say, that just sort of get discarded at the end of the life. Mainly the hard drive gets taken out and I'll come along and I'll just sort of have a look at what I can get. So I've sourced a few parts from that and a few parts from my mate. And the case behind me is the Pentium 4 case, which was in the bin. I've kept that. Now, as I say, the Pentium 4 was IDE and the motherboard is a Foxconn, I think. And it now has a dual core Intel Pentium processor in it, or whatever it is. So before I got it all sort of up and running, the case, which is still a little bit yellow, I am still undecided on what to do with that. I don't know whether to retro bright it or paint it. Now, when I say paint it, because now I have kept the original floppy disk and I've painted that black, I now have a black DVD/CD-ROM. I've got another one to go in as well, and if that went on there like that, I don't know, maybe it might look a bit odd, but I've got plans anyway, and I've got plans for the case as well, because the case, although it fits and it's still sort of thing as it should, I think I've just got a little idea of what I want to do with that. So yeah, all is good in the hood there. And also what I had to do was I swapped out the power supply as well, because the power supply originally in this one was for IDE. It wasn't SATA, so I had to buy, I got a 500 watt one, mainly because at the end of this video I'll show you why. Now, the computer itself, which I have sort of built, if you want to call it, yeah, it was all cleaned, as I do with every sort of thing I find. The front case cleaned, scrubbed, all the innards were all sort of blasted off with this stuff. Now this is really good for cleaning PCs. Basically that is like a bloody jet, and it was one of them. Cleaned everything out and then air blasted it off, and it was all good to go. As I say, my mate's got that now, he's doing an XP build. The monitor, I don't know if you can just see it there, is by Relisys, I think it's called. Again, it's an old works monitor. Now this goes back, let me see, I think 2008. We actually had an internet room in work and they bought a load of ex-office PCs. I can't remember offhand what they are, but there is two left in work, and I'm sort of in negotiations on, like, you know, if I can have them. I can have them, but the hard drives have got to be taken out, so, you know, whatever. But yeah, the computers, I think they got them cheap. It wasn't actually a work thing, it was the union bought these computers for the workers to use, and it just sort of like fizzled out in the end. And I've got as well, I don't know how well this is going to come up on camera, but I've got one of the keyboards that used to come with it. Now, I don't know how well that's going to turn out on camera because this studio light is a little bit too bright. So this is a Genius keyboard, and it's very yellowed and there's a light little strip of white there, or what do you call it, cream. So for now, that's going to be my keyboard, and possibly at a later date I'll probably retrobrite it just for the video. The mouse as well, again by Genius, and it's not special. It's just one that I found in a box full of sort of parts. And this motherboard was very clean when I got it. So I got a motherboard off my mate, and I got that off him, which is the DVD, the hard drive. I had that myself. So everything is now SATA and non-IDE. I always find SATA a little bit tidy, should we say. Them IDE cables are just like that. So I've kept, well, I've got that as well as a spare, and I've got, so I've got that one. Got the original, which was in that, and also that as well, because that came with two. So basically, in today's video, oops, I'll just get that thing out. I'm just going to show you the build that I've got, the specs that I've got, and the plans for it, basically. Because as much as I started out this channel doing Amiga stuff, over the years there was always something missing, and ever since I come across these two PCs in the bin, it sort of reignited my sort of passion, if you want to call it, for PC gaming. Now, I wasn't a massive PC gamer back in the day, but obviously when we sort of disbanded our Amigas, most people did go to PCs. I was one of the guilty ones, but I never ever had a top end or a top spec PC, if that makes sense. So, you know, it's the actual motherboard that I've got here is actually quite a powerful graphics card internally. But again, I'll show you at the end of the video what I've bought for it and stuff like that. I mean, I've been buying a few sort of things. I've just bought as well, and I don't know why, I just seen it on eBay for like £6. It's a PS2 interface mouse, and it's a Guinness. Bloody Guinness. I don't even drink, I don't even like Guinness. But it was sealed, I think it was thinking about £6 or something like that, £7. So, I don't know. And these as well, I've never seen these before, and these are very weird. I don't know when to do a video on them, but Kit Kat mice. No scroll wheel. One come with a ball, one come without. I'm yet to test them, so yeah, all's good in the hood there. I've got a few games as well from back in the day. Now, these are my own games. Midtown Madness, absolute classic. Tomb Raider 2, which sadly is scratched and doesn't work. Star Wars theme track's got nothing to do with the game. This as well. Now, this is for Windows 95, and it runs beautifully on this. Absolutely wowzer. Got this from a charity shop with 3,000 Spectrum games on. That runs, but no sound. And also picked this up at a boot sale for £1, which is the Windows version of the classic Lemmings. So not also is it Lemmings, it's Lemmings 3D and Lemmings Paintball as well. So my all-time favourite Lemmings is on the Amiga, not can beat it. But I'm just willing to try that and see, you know, how I get on with that. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else I need to tell you before I carry on? The power supply that I bought, as I say, 500 watt. It's not special. It's just, I think it's like £11 or something like that. And it was just, well, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll show you. So anyway, I bought this for, I think it was £8 or £9. Now, it's been opened, but the actual card has not been opened. So it's relatively, well, it's brand new, and it's brand new old stock. Now, if you look on there, it says 27th of January 2010, and it's a PNY Quadro FX 580 512 megabyte PCIe DDR3 dual DVI with VGA adapter. Now, I just thought I wanted something a little bit, you know, sort of, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, that graphics card is good, but I want to see what it's like with this. And again, it was an impulse buy. I was scrolling eBay, and I was like, oh, look at that. And yeah, so I've got an Nvidia Quadro. So I've actually, I've had to open that and use that. This, what's this one here? It's game port, it's DVI, and then the actual thing itself is there. So in terms of the, I mean, it's got to be better. It's got to be better than that. So the reason for the power supply was it needed a 500 watt or 400 watt power supply, and I just thought, you know what, while I was swapping it out anyway, just get this. I mean, I've actually got another one as well, because I was actually given another PC by a mate in work, and I'll show you that possibly at the end of this video. It's now special, it's an i3, but I do plan to upgrade. So also my impulse buying brought me to this Zotac, whatever you call it, GeForce 210 Synergy Edition, 1024 megabytes DDR3 memory, PhysX or PhysX by NVIDIA, PCI 2.0 and dual link DVI. So it's for Windows 7 and Vista, but this is going in the i3 one that I bought. It's not going in this, solely for the NVIDIA Quadro. So before we crack on, yeah, I was kind of hoping to keep the Pentium 4, and as I say, it's the same spec I had sort of back in the day, and it didn't give any sort of like performance what I want to game, because the likes of Midtown Madness, it's not graphically intense, but if you do have a decent 3D accelerator, it runs quite nice, and there's all sorts of like shading on the card and stuff like that. And if you run it on high settings, it looks absolutely beautiful. Doom is just Doom, that will run on anything. Tomb Raider, again, I think that'll just, it doesn't sort of up the graphics. You can get another graphics card, but it just makes it run a little bit smoother and takes the sort of power away from using the onboard graphics. Anything else? I mean, I have actually bought, I've been buying, I mean, I've bought like games I had back in the day. So I bought Motocross Madness 1 and 2, Tex Murphy, Under the Killer Moon, sealed edition as well. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing on that and a play, because that was just fantastic. I've actually bought the Tomb Raider trilogy. So as I say, Tomb Raider 2 is not working, so I just seen it on eBay again, an impulse buy, a £5. Happy days. And also in that as well, the bonus Tomb Raider Revelation as well. So yeah, happy days. And I've actually forgot what I bought. I've just been sort of sitting there in work or whatever, and just gone, ooh, buy. Up to now, I've spent around about £50–60. As I say, the motherboard was just a swap, the monitor was PO, everything was sort of nothing. Work is still ongoing on this Pentium MMX one. I'm still struggling to get a screen, to be honest with you. When I say screen, I'm still struggling to get anything on the screen. So I'm going to have to sort of maybe buy another graphics card and try that. But there's one thing I did find on it, that it did have 2 power supplies. So it's got like a weird connector and then a normal sort of 20-pin connector. Maybe it's missing something, I don't know, but the power supply is old because it's got that old connector on, and I've never seen it before, so yeah. Anyway, so anything else before I start? Anything else I have forgotten? Just have a look around this room, see if I can see anything of... No. Anyway, without further ado, let's turn this little beast on and I'll show you the specs. Right, so sorry for adding that little bit of hyperlapse there. Righty-ho, so I haven't put the power switch on, so I'm going to have to use a screwy to turn the power on. Turn the volume up. Now, the good thing with this monitor, it's got inbuilt stereo speakers, so I don't have to use any external speakers. As you can see there, just booted up to Foxconn. And the good thing about this one is F10, and it's a recovery thing on it as well. So that is what I was missing. Windows XP. It's got to be my favourite operating system. 98 and XP were the favourites. That noise is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Right, so what have I installed on this? So we're going to kick things off with, I'll tell you what we'll do Midtown Madness, because I absolutely love it. Also on the Midtown Madness disc there is a demo for Motocross Madness. So also as well, the monitor, it's in good condition. I think the last time it was pat tested was 2013, so it just gives you an idea of how old it is. And as I say, we got them around about 2008, 9, I can't be too sure, I can't remember now, but it was a long time ago. In terms of why I've gone for these, it's just purely for space. I've got another one of these in work which is getting binned, and I've got some older style NEC ones which are quite nice, smaller than this. This is like a bit of a square sort of display. In terms of resolution, I don't exactly know what, but yeah, just purely for space, and I don't want another CRT in here. And the blacks do seem to be a little bit purple. I don't know if that's just the monitor on its way out, or I don't know, but I can't ever remember them being. So okay, what we'll do is we will go into specs, and righty-ho. So we've got Windows XP Professional version 2002, Service Pack 3, registered to my cat, Intel Pentium R dual CPU, E2180 at 2 GHz, 2 GHz, 199 gigabytes of RAM, physical address extension. Now it says there ZooStorm. I should imagine that is what, I think that's what the computer's called that my mate had. Hardware, so device manager, and we go straight for the graphics card. Sound, we've just got, you know, normal, whatever you call it, onboard sound. Yeah, so it's a dual core, 2 GHz network adapter. Where's display adapters? So we have an Intel RG33G31 Express chipset family. I've said that right. And it's got its own sort of control panel here. So if you go down to graphics properties, and it says display settings, and it's got, you know, a load of that sort of things as you'd sort of imagine. Now I'm not sure if it's a 3D accelerator, because I did see something the other day. Oh, where was it? Also, as well, I'm using a ball mouse. How much of a fucking pain are these things? So I have ordered as well an optical one with a scroll wheel, because it's nice, don't get me wrong, it's nice to play on old hardware and old sort of things, but these wheel mice are just a thing of the past now. So computer, ACPI, multiprocessor PC, disk drives. Now I haven't installed this floppy yet. It's IDE, so I'm going to have to get an IDE to start a connector. Your normal things that you'd find. So yeah, Intel R, ATA storage. Is it SATA or ATA? I can never remember. Keyboards, yeah. So, I mean, in terms of, you know, what I want it for, it's perfect. There's probably people out there going, oh, that's crap. Because I know someone did comment, I think, and say, oh, that motherboard, that Foxconn motherboard is absolutely shite. But do you know what? Couldn't give a shit. It does me. That's all that matters. So anyway, so let's get cracking with the knacking. I don't think there's anything else to show yet. Was it Realtek sound? That's what it was. Could never remember the onboard sound on these things. Right, let's have a bit of Midtown madness. So again, quite a beautiful display in my opinion. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move the camera a bit closer, and I'm going to show you a close-up of the sort of graphical capabilities of the computer. There's a slight crackle there, but I think that's to do with the actual right, so my favourite mode on this has got to be, it's a bit loud actually, that. It's got to be a cruise. Just actually, what I've done as well, I've ordered Midtown Madness 2, I've just remembered now. So many hours lost on this game. City bus. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. All these have got to be unlocked. So we'll just go for a little drive, little cruise round. Is it? Where's it set?
Cruising is a.
Oh, whatever. So I don't know if you can see that, or don't know how well you can see it, but now that should be black tarmac, and it is slightly purple, should we say. But this now graphically is on. Let me see. So if you go to graphic options, and we have everything is on. Detail is high, and yeah, shadows. So it's only on vehicles, but with the graphics, well, with the onboard graphics, it's given me sort of high settings at the moment. So I'm quite happy with that, and I think you can get a little bit more graphically better if you've got a bit of an beefier card. But as you can see some of the shadows just appearing on the card there, and you know what a belter of a game this is. But as you can see, with this onboard graphics, it runs quite smooth. Again, the physics on the cars are a little bit, they need a little bit of work, I think, because if I do remember, there was quite a lot of oversteer, but you know, generally that is quite good. The draw distance is quite good, and basically this is all I used to do, is just get in the car and just go for a friggin' drive, and also do this. Now I seem to remember back in the day when my lad used to sit with me and play these games, he used to shit himself when I smashed through these windows. Yeah, it's when was the last time I played this? It must have been 2010 maybe? I don't know. Computer I had at the time, I just got rid of it, couldn't be arsed with it. And that is the sort of moment I sort of got back into the Amiga. It was 2013 I got back into the Amiga. and so I sort of got rid of everything, every old PC I had and stuff like that, and it just sort of became an Amigan or Amican, whatever you call them nowadays, or a Biff, as other people call you. Oh, another thing I used to love doing on this game is when this bridge went up, if you got enough speed, you could just jump over the thing. But sometimes your wheels are just snap off. But that runs rather well. I am quite impressed with just the onboard graphics at the moment on this game, and even now 2023, that runs, it just looks like a modernish game. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Maniac. As you can see, a little bit of damage there, and my wheel is a little bit buckled, should we say. But if you crash into the wall, it gives you, well, your whole car gets refreshed. Oops, oh dear. Yeah, just so many bloody memories, so many memories. I mean, even inside the car, just look how sort of smooth it runs. I remember back in the day, the PC that I had, it didn't run it this well. And I only had something like a 64 megabyte graphics card, I seem to remember. And it just didn't cut the mustard, and the onboard graphics was crap as well. So yeah, well happy with this. And what we'll do now, we will end this play, and I'll put Doom on for you, because I'll show you how Doom runs on this as well. But look at that, just everything's just as it should. Nice and fluent, and you know, just before we go as well, you can see there the actual reflections of the shops do appear quite nicely on the car. So very happy with that one. So right, let's crack on with Doom. Right, okay, so we have the ultimate Doom, Thy Flesh Consumed, GT Interactive software, and it says this program contains copyrighted material from Doom 1993 copyright ID software, and then it goes on to say 1995 GT Interactive software. Now, from what I'm led to believe, this is for Windows 95 only, but it's installed and it runs beautifully. So let's check it out. So you might just be able to see there, Ultimate Doom for Windows 95. And you've got your settings here as well. I didn't know, but it says here, you can select what level you want to start on. So I've actually played, I think I'm actually up to about map 4, I think. I've saved it, but we're just going to go from the beginning and just show you. New game, basically. So I think caps lock is, no, was it shift? Control was fire, sorry. Again, it's a little bit purple, so I don't know, I'll have to mess around with the settings on the monitor maybe, or maybe it's just on its way out, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know about you, but I do actually prefer playing Doom without the music. But it runs really well. And if you've never played this game before, where the fucking hell have you been for the last 30 years? But yeah, well happy with this one. Woo! Oh, die, you little bastard. I remember actually back in the day first seeing this game, and I think I seen it on a 3 or 486, and I was absolutely blown away by it. I've got various sort of versions of this. You know, it appeared on the Xbox original, Xbox One, which actually the new Doom is actually, wow, it's unbelievable. Switch as well, and Doom, as we all know, will basically run on anything you throw at it. Tiny watches, digital billboards, McDonald's ordering menus. It's yeah, it's seen it all. So I'm just going to play a little bit more of this before we wrap things up, because I have gone on a little bit today. Originally I did shoot the intro that you've seen weeks ago, but however I stupidly deleted the footage by mistake. I had to refilm the intro, but I do like to go on occasionally. My mate even says that you just sort of do the intro, get it over and done with, and be done with it. But yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you, if I like the music. I think I just like no music, and I have the sort of eerie sounds of doors opening and closing and sort of monsters and creeping up on you and stuff like that. And this fella with a shotgun. But yeah, so that's 2 games down, and I am more than happy with the performance of this machine so far. So hopefully I can get the other one up and running as well, and I have an XP and a 98 build as well. 98 was the first computer I ever bought, like actually paid and shelled out quite a lot of money for. So I always wanted a 98 build, but doing XP builds, it's easy, should we say. When you're doing 98s, I always find it a little bit challenging. But you know, right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll quit that, and what I'll do is I will show you this Spectrum emulator I got as well from a charity shop. Oh no, tell you what, while we're here, I'll show you Motocross Madness. Another Microsoft game, and the sort of Madness games are very, very good in my opinion. The only one I didn't like was Monster Truck Madness. It was just, I just couldn't get into it. So let's just go on this one, select this fella, select this fella, and select that fella. And away we go. There's a part of this game which, if you've played this game before, you'll know where I'm heading straight for. See if I can do a stunt. I landed. Absolutely brilliant game. Absolutely brilliant game. I mean, graphically, it's spot on, and it runs beautifully. Obviously, these LCDs, when they went to LCDs, it's still got a bit pixelated. Anyway, here we are. You know where I'm going. Whoops. Oh. Well, I've fucked that one up, haven't I? And again, back in the day when me and my lads used to play this, he was only a baby at the time, and I think he used to cover his ears when we got to this part, because he knew what was coming. I must admit though, the first time I seen it, I did crap myself. Okay, so here we go. Get a bit of speed up, and let's veer off to the left. Obviously it's a big map, but it's not infinite, so it's going to kick you off like that. Oh wow. Oh, the memories. Oh, the memories. I mean, the sound as well, the sound is not in time with the actual bike, but it's decent sound. So it's revving up now. It's idling. So it's not out of sync. It's not wrong with the game. It's just the way the game is made. but I get it why they've done it, because it's just it's an old game basically. But yeah, again, many hours of fun on this, and I can't wait for the other games to appear. Oh, what a stunt! Yeah, brilliant. Look, it just runs and moves just beautifully. Righty ho, let's have that one off, and I'll show you this emulator. Right, okay, so this is Spectrum Classics from Revive. Now, I had a bit of a faff getting it installed. You had to install the main program and then get some DLL file, put it into some other file, drag it to the desktop and stuff like that. But apparently retro gaming will never be the same. Now, I'll probably do a full video on this. I have played it, and for some reason I can't get sound on it. But you can get the Amiga one as well, apparently, and that's got 3,000 games on. So it says emulators included for PC and Amiga. So I think when it says Amiga, I think the emulator will run on an Amiga. Possibly, I don't know. So games on the CD-ROM include 48K and 128K games. Play full screen or Windows. So let's whack this in. And I think this cost me a couple of quid. I can't remember now, it was quite a while ago. And my aging brain, I do forget things. I've seen this as well. Cool as fuck. Now, as much as I love me retro gaming, as some will know, I bought a Series X quite a while ago, and I have not stopped playing Flight Sim. It's just one of them games. If you've had like a bit of a shit day, if you're having a shit day, if you just can't be arsed with anyone, if you can't be bothered talking to anyone, jump into a plane and just go and fly anywhere in the world. And I swear to God, Jesus, it just takes your mind off the norm, should we say. Rightio, so we've got the, where's it go? So it's W spec N, and if we go to file, now go to the, did we have games? No, we didn't have games installed. So we've got games here. So we pick, say, one of my favourite games of all time, which is actually sitting up on the shelf. Drum roll, please. It is Roller Coaster. One of the hardest games ever made for the fucking Spectrum. And as much as I have played it and played it and played it, I cannot for the life of me complete it. So it boasts 3,000 games. It hasn't got every game on there. I sort of, I get there's some sort of copyright things on games, and you can't sort of reuse them, should we say. So World of Spectrum, there's games on there which you can't actually download. Now, if I remember rightly, one of them was Rampage, with those bloody big gorillas. So I'm assuming this is going to be the same. So it's got Rambo. Oh no, it's got Rampage. I stand. Yeah. I tell you what we'll do. No, what we'll do. We'll pour. Where is it? Is it Renegade? One of my favourite Spectrum games of all time. Even better, I think, Renegade on the Spectrum is even better than the original arcade. Oh, this thing is doing my nut in. Renegade, come on. What's SNA? I've never seen that before. Anyway, so there you go. So, the option to play in full screen is Is it that? Is that the best we're going to get? That's not full screen. Joystick off, save options. So 4x4, it says, I mean, that is pretty much full screen. But what I've found out is, let me see, we need to find these keys again. For some reason, OP, A, Q and space, and pause is W. So there's no sound. So I don't know why we have no sound. And it runs like a, I can't remember it running that slow on the, it was faster on the Spectrum. I'm pretty sure it was faster on the Spectrum. But yeah, I don't know why it's got no sound, but it's just got no sound. So if we just come out of this and open a game, which actually, was it Robocop? It had some really, really good music at the start of it. We got Robocop on here. Robocop 2. Oh, what was a game that had music on it? The snapshot is requesting non-emulated hardware. If it crashes, reset the emulator. Oh well. Right, so music, number 7. See, I don't know why it's got no music. Sound. So sound is selected. I just don't know why it's got no music. It's weird. Everything is connected as it should and stuff like that. So I don't know why it's not working. Let's just try one more. Let me find roller coaster actually. Roller. So that should have the music now. Do 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 do. But it has not got it. I don't know why. We've got full sound. See? Audio properties. Yep, as it should. Realtek HD audio output. So I don't know why it's not working. Default device, Microsoft GS Wavetable SW Synth. Yeah, I'll have to look into that one, but it's no big deal. I've got emulators galore and I've got real Spectrum hardware, so it's no a big deal there. So yeah, so that wraps up today's little XP build. And anything else to show you while I'm here? No, because I'm still waiting more games. So yeah, so that's it for now. Let's just power this down and listen to this iconic sound. Wow, unbelievable. Bloody love it. Right, so there you have it. I know it wasn't the video you probably wanted to watch with the Pentium 4 up and running, but believe me, it is up and running, and it's running quite nice, apparently, my mate said. So in terms of this now, I'm going to put this back on, and I've got another DVD drive to go in. As I say, I could retrobrite it, but you know, that's the original colour. That's the colour the sun has given it. Now, we don't get a lot of sun in this country, so oops, shit, am I just snatching? Oh, nearly. Yeah, we don't get a lot of sun, so I'm either going to wait for a sunny day or just paint it. I have got plans. I just sort of like hope that it looks, I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks nice as it is. It's an aged PC. It looks all right like that. But with these being black now, the beige didn't go, so I just thought, yeah, what have I got to lose? Nothing in all honesty. And as I say, in the next video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be installing this, and I'm going to see if it runs any better. Now by the time I do this video, I'll probably have more games, and I'll probably have, I think I've got one or two more graphically intense games, should we say. So yeah, all is good in the hood there. And also you can see on top of this as well, here is my Goodman's projector, which I've had for quite a while now. This has got a VGA thingy on it, connector on it, so I'm going to plug it into that as well. In terms of the monitor, I might swap it out and see if you know, it is a thing with that, if it's sort of like purpley or whatever, but no big deal. I've got quite a few of these, and also I've got a TV there with a VGA output on it anyway, so, and that, it actually does look beautiful. The only downside to that one is it's quite a wide one, so you do get a bit of a weird sort of a weird picture, should we say. I've got the i3, which actually what I'll do is, if I can get it out, I'll get it out. Right, now this is by someone called Stone, and it's got Windows 7 on it. UK assembled in 2016, July 2016. So it's got an i3 processor. I don't know what speed it is, and it's just basically a little boring desktop one like that. Wi-Fi dongle at the back and stuff like that. So my plans are for this is possibly make it into not a top-end gaming PC, but some sort of gaming PC. So the processor, which I'm hoping, depending on what socket is and stuff like that, ideally I'd like to get it to an i7, but if I can just get it to an i5. Incidentally, I do have another i5 computer in work, which I've actually had a look on YouTube, and some people do make them into mid-range gaming PCs. So yeah, when I get that one, when I get the all clear for that one, I'll show you that. But front of that, I have put a Boing Ball sticker on it, and it's just your thing, yo. So this one, it does boot up really slow, so you know there's going to be some upgrades. And originally I did buy that Zotac for that, so I don't know. I mean, I've got quite a lot of stuff to go on, because as well as this channel, as I say, was Amiga related, I like to try new things, and as I say, there was something missing, and that night I found the two babies in the bin was just sort of like game changer, life changer, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, so that is enough for now. I'm sorry I've gone on for quite a while, and if you've got to this point, thank you very much for staying and watching. So yes, all is good in the hood, and I'll catch you in the next video.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name?
Siri.